Carlene.
Hi, Marlene.
You ready for your work day?
We're ready, I think. Yes, I am.
I also find there's such a transition from getting everything done.
Yes.
And then, okay,
It's time to work.
Yeah. I thought we'd discuss today on practice habits.
Okay.
And how to practice effectively.
Okay.
I think it starts with just having a very good game plan.
Oh, for sure.
Because even just like in sports, you wouldn't just go out on the field and just play. You would actually plan and have strategies in mind.
Right.
So, what are some of the strategies you use for some of your voice students?
I think that making sure the parents are on board is a helpful strategy. Just to be sure, not that they're hovering or making sure that, like, not micromanaging, but just making sure that the practicing is happening. So they don't even have to be in the same room. But I think just to make sure the parents know that there is an importance to some time being put into practicing is very helpful.
And I think, be it that it's just a student, being a mature student, being able to plan this for themselves, or a parent,
yes,
you have to have a great space.
Yeah.
You have to have a quiet space that's undisturbed. You can't have the TV going and the piano at the same place.
Yeah.
You have to do time management as far as what time of the day is best.
Yes.
Some students, it's best to do it in the morning, get over and done so they come home and they kind of crash, or do they have other activities?
I think actually that is one of the best strategies, is getting practice done in the morning.
Yeah.
If it's possible. I mean, some piano students are going to be putting a lot of time in, so perhaps getting up at 5 in the morning to practice piano is not going to work if they have to put an hour or two in. But they could put half in before they go to school and then half in after.
Yeah. And then I think the next thing is that have a set kind of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you're doing. And the first thing for a piano student, even when they come for a lesson, is warm up.
Yeah.
Right. So for myself as a piano teacher, I will have, depending on their level and the student, you could have a dozen a day for the younger ones.
Yes.
I could have some hand exercises modified, or the advanced students could do all different keys and different technical things like that. And then, of course, then goes the next to the scale work and all the technical things. Right. How about for voice?
Exactly the same, as far as just getting the voice ready to practice. So whether that means, you know, physically getting your body ready, and then, you know, exploring your voice, hearing what it sounded like throughout the day. Those are usually voice exploration, kind of, not even exercises, but just sounds that you start to make, to get yourself ready to actually dig in.
To get the instrument warmed up, right? Because those vocal cords are just, it's like, oh, okay, here I go. So.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about moving your body, like going for a walk and getting your blood flowing and getting ready to actually participate in the activity of singing, right? So yes, definitely a warm-up is important. It's not to take long, but few minutes.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then after you get through the warm-up and the technical things that they can work on, what would you do next for your voice students?
I think the next thing that they should do is look at their repertoire, and I think a lot of times what's really helpful is to have something very specific to work on. So you know, singing through a whole song, I'm not sure if it's like this with piano, but singing through a whole song just to sing, it isn't really what a practice is about.
No.
Although I don't think there's anything wrong with just singing or just playing. I think those are good things to do, but I wouldn't call that practice. I'd call that fun.
Yeah.
I think that, and those are good things to do, like play for fun, sing for fun.
You have to break it apart.
Yes,
so you can do 4-bar phrases or 4-bar measures.
Yes.
Which becomes a phrase or like a sentence.
Absolutely.
And work through on how it goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and typically I'll have assigned something, like they might need to work on specific ways they're forming their vowel shapes. So then I want them to actually be working on that in that particular song. Yeah. Or I'll say, you know, you need to work on your diction in this song. You need to work on your articulation for this particular set of words. So there'll be things that they can definitely work on breaking, like taking it out of the song.
And that's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
Is read your teacher's notes. Students out there, your teachers are writing notes to you. They're there to help you. So
that's my least favorite thing to do, is write notes. So it takes me a lot of, like, I write them and then no one reads them.
Yeah, I know. So I often tell my students, put it on the piano and have it next to you, and then make sure you go through my notes of what you're supposed to do. And especially on what specifically to work on this week for them. Be it using the metronome, getting your timing even, finding your rhythmic pulse, whatever that is. So yeah, so then they go through the piece, and I also always say make sure you allow yourself some fun time. So that's like singing through a song or going through an old repertoire.
Yes.
Just playing by ear.
Right.
Just something where you just kind of release or find some fun. If you feel frustrated, I say sometimes bang on the piano.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's try that again.
Right.
And then there's usually, I don't know if you have the component in your lessons or in your music study of part of learning the language of music is the theory of it all.
Oh, for sure.
So note reading, time values, scale, all those theoretical things. So I do assign theory work, so usually enough for probably 3 to 5 minutes of homework a week, which is not very much.
Right.
So make sure you do leave time for that too.
Yeah.
To get to know your note names and all those other things.
It's really important.
Reading intervals.
Yeah, it's very important.
So yeah, if you have a strategy in mind and a game plan, you are set to go. And don't forget to ask your teacher as well. If you find something that's tricky, go to your lesson and say, I had a problem with this.
This
and
was hard.
And that's when they really can help you. So happy practicing.